Hello, my name is Jerome'S and this is my testimony. In 2004, I joined the U.S. Army Infantry with the 1st and 110th Infantry out of Indiana, PA. I deployed into combat for 2 years with that unit, and in that time, I sustained injuries. I was wounded in combat, which resulted in a traumatic brain injury and PTSD. After seeing that combat, I sort of stepped away from God, and I tried to do things on my own. I didn't think that after seeing what I saw, I just didn't believe the way I believed. It took me years and years and years and years of therapy and medications to think that I was okay. And I met my wife in 2010 right at the end of my contract with the Army, which I got out in 2011. I met her, and I believe that that's where God started to move me back. We actually grew up right in the next town over from one another. I knew her brother. We had so much in common, and everything just clicked. And once I started dating her, I started to find some stability. She took really good care of me and got me back on track. And then we got married very shortly after in 2011, and then we had our first job together, and that's when I really started trying a little bit harder, but I still wasn't getting anywhere because there was a big piece missing. And I went on like that for another 9 years, and trying to do all of this on my own, be a husband, be a father. Along the way, we had another child, and it was all growing to be a lot. It was very hard for me, especially trying to manage my mental health on top of everything else, with all the medications from the VA and the therapy appointments and the physical appointments. In 2018, that was when my father passed, and that was a really, really hard time for me. A short time after that, I had a mental breakdown. I had about a 16-hour blackout, didn't know what happened or anything. I woke up in the hospital with a state police officer sitting on the edge of my bed. I wasn't doing anything, no illicit drugs, I wasn't drinking, anything like that. I was simply taking the medications that I was supposed to be taking for the VA. And it just had a bad reaction. So I ended up in the hospital once again. That was one of many times. But what was different this time is when I got out of the hospital, I started to really think about things and, think about what's important, my wife and my kids, and I needed to do something different. So a little bit later, about mid-2020, that's when we were kind of starting to slip into the pandemic. Things were getting locked down, and I just had a lot of time to think. And I literally live on the hill above Simpson Church And I would look down there every Sunday, and I would see all the chorus down there, and I'd see all the people, and I'd hear how happy they were. And so I decided one day, I'm going to go down there. And I honestly don't think that was completely my decision. I felt it in my heart. I felt it in my soul. It was the first time I felt anything real in a very, 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 very long time. I was guided down there, and the first person I got to meet was Linda, and she welcomed me with open arms. And I was talking to her, and I prayed with her for the first time. That was the first time I prayed in 15 years. Since I've joined down at Simpson Church, I have grown so much spiritually. The Holy Spirit is so powerful down there. I was able to actually come off of the medications that I was taking at the VA. God gave me the power and the strength to overcome my anxieties, my depressions, my suicidal ideations, so that I could live with a clear mind. God has done so much for me. I mean, now, don't get me wrong, I am not perfect. I am still a very, very broken man. But I have come so far. I can actually function as a human being. I've now become, a part of the church. I'm on the board now. I'm a deacon. And I am very, very, very proud of this spiritual walk that I've taken. And I mean, this is just a testimony through the power of God. I mean, I've talked to people recently from my past who can't even believe who I am now. They're like, my God, you've done it a complete and total 180. From drugs and alcohol and being on medications and, just being a very rough and tumble kind of guy to, what many of the people at the church know me as now today. It is just, I'm completely changed. And I always heard people say, like, just give everything to God. Just put it in the Lord's hands. And I never understood that. I never, ever understood that. And I didn't know how to do that. But I'm telling you now that you don't have to know how to do any of it. Because God and the Holy Spirit will lead you by the hand and get you through whatever situation you're in. You just have to have faith. Because faith is what matters. Having faith and trusting that God will take care of your situations or whatever it may be is the ultimate step. Because once I've done that, everything else just fell into place. It's not because of me. It's not because of the steps that I took. It's because God led me. The Holy Spirit works through me. And everything that from this day on, I contribute to God. All praise to God because He has taken such good care of me and my family. I mean, since I've given my life to Christ, we have not had money issues. Even whenever we were in the most dire situations, somehow there was still money. We never went without food. We never missed a payment on anything. I mean, all that stuff is great and fine and everything, but it's just showing the true power of God and that He will take care of things. He will take care of you. All you have to do is have faith and give your life to God.